Welcome back, lads, and welcome to the new season of Deep Rock. Recently I've been binging some Deep Rock and really enjoying the new season, so I said, fuck it, let's make a video on something I don't hate for once. So that's what I'm doing. Critical Corruption takes place right where Plaguefall left off. There's still Rockpox, and this time, there's Herald. So that's cool, I guess. Other than this what's new in Deep Rock? Well, we got a new story assignment about Rockpox, new battle pass, new cosmetics, a few new overclock changes, new balance fixes, and of course... Oh yeah, and did I mention that all of this is free? It's kinda awesome knowing that the devs aren't out to nickel and dime me for every little thing they decide to add. It's good to know the story isn't half bad either. What the story, you might be asking? Well, that's rather simple. Rockpox back. Go kill Rockpox. Good job. Go Rockpox. Simplicity surely is the best form of storytelling. So, without further ado, let's get into itty bitty shitty, starting with... The Battle Pass this season is rather good, and also rather free. The cosmetic tree is... It's fine. Some part of me wishes these skins were in the last season's tree, because I feel personally like they would mesh a little bit better with the theme of Rockpox being introduced, as opposed to, continuing the fight, but that's just me. I feel like it's a wee bit weak, but I also think that's because the skins last season were so fucking good. Overall, pretty good. Of course, contagion spikes are no hazard pool, just a rival incursion, and that makes things a little bit more annoying sometimes, but hey, at least it's still fair play to make the easy Splatoon joke again. Speaking of contagion, we should probably talk about the lovable little shit in the room. Holy shit! Okay, so I think it's time I said something. Remember that Destiny 2 video I did a few months back? And remember how in that I said, I like Tormentors? I still stand by that. Getting any sort of enemy variety in any game is always a good thing, and here, I really like some of the new enemies added to Deep Rock this season, and, well, oh boy, we'll go over this fuckface in a minute, don't you worry. Now, Herald here is a beautiful specimen, an immaculately designed fight between a handful of dwarves and an abomination of nature. Truly, how it should always be. I actually really like Herald as a fight. He himself doesn't pose too much danger besides the melee stomp, but the Rockpox goop that he spawns on the ground forces you to be careful of your position when fighting him. It creates space in a natural way that makes you pay the fuck attention, and instead of being able to shoot him right away, you need to, play Splatoon a bit and weaken his armor before you get a chance to damage him. And after every damage, he drops a bunch of little gloopy boys. Which, for no attacks, he actually does a pretty good job at controlling the environment. And that's it. He's just a fun boss enemy that adds difficulty and forces you to, give him the attention he deserves in a fun and engaging way. 8 out of 10. I don't have too much to add about the Septic Spreader. It's a relatively rare enemy spawn from what I've seen, so I haven't fought him too much. Ironically, I don't even think I have any footage of me fighting him, because he's so squishy too. But from what I could gather, he spreads stuff you can't stand on without taking damage, and it's from really far away. Kinda like a less annoying menace, because they don't deal as much damage up front, instead relying on the DOT, or damage over time, effect of the goop on the ground. So, yeah, he's pretty good. One thing I do not really like is the lack of a audible audio cue to tell you when he either spawns or decides to start shooting at you. Overall, a fair enough enemy to have for variety. 7 out of 10. probably be a little tankier. Now this fucking thing. Holy fucking shit, this thing's annoying as all hell. Now, on the off chance you don't know what this is the new enemy, the Glyphid Stingtail. Looks like a deformed scorpion. Looks like I belt sanded a poor scorpion's fucking face off and replaced it with a bunch of testicular cancer. Now, I'm gonna preface this. I see what you're doing when you're making this, but it definitely needs some changes. Now, what this absolute trash-eating monkey freak fucking dumb brain fucking two brain cell looking head ass does is invades your privacy, files fraudulent loans under your name, fucks your wife, kills your dad, and pulls you to his location to get fucking more. It doesn't matter how fast you run. It doesn't matter how good you hide. If he sees you, he is coming for that ass. Not like that. Then, after he pulls you from your friends and safety net, and you tell him not to touch you in your no-no square, he proceeds to say, no means yes, and yes means harder. Then brutally, just absolutely goes right in, straight for the... All in all, I hate it. Awful. Terrible enemy. Please remove it from the game. I don't want to see it on my fucking lawn, ever. 10 out of 10. Well, I think that just about covers everything in this season. Huh. Well, I need to pad the video out, so, let's talk about getting deeper into the endgame. So, jokes aside, I've wanted to make a smaller video talking about overclocks and the weapons in Deep Rock specifically, but I think that now is a perfect opportunity that I have. Find the amount of varied and truly different and creative weapons available to make loadout possibilities so freeing in comparison to recent games, you know, that have come out. Since using your favorite gear is as much of an extension of your personal taste as your chosen cosmetics, that freedom is really why many of us choose to bother with the time investment of playing video games in the first place. The fact that the devs managed to care enough for every single weapon to give them specific areas to excel in and specific areas that they don't is absolutely mind-boggling. And trust me, I've only barely touched weapon balancing as a small indie dev. So, instead of actually having a structured segment here, I'm just gonna talk about some overclocks that I liked and found funny, and, you know, just goof off and rate them like I did the enemies. So let's start with this one. This has got to be my favorite overclock I've messed around with so far. The amount of damage it gives makes it feel like the Drac not only looks like the best weapon in the game, but also feels like it hits like it. I run a pretty weird mod set on this to use the AoE upgrade with pellets, but I think it's a pretty good way of dealing with smaller glyphids, not just the swarmers, but like regular grunts, and stuff that's maybe a bit too out of range of my shotgun. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like this weapon actually starts performing really well when you're using Cryo Scout combo with the incendiary shotgun. Something about the amount of damage that it deals to frozen enemies I feel must be a bug, but maybe that's just me. The downsides for this overclock basically do not exist at this point. The extra heat is laughable if you just tap fire every once in a while, and the spread doesn't even really matter when you're using AoE pellets. Overall, amazing overclock, and it makes this weapon very, very usable even on high hazards like 4 or 5. Plus the downsides, I fucking forget that they even exist to affect the general performance of the gun with this installed. 10 out of 10. Sorry lads, busy channeling my inner war criminal. Trade some damage for one of the most powerful DOT effects I've ever seen, not only in DRG, but in any video game? Sign me the fuck up. With the Plague Gunner, yes, I'm quitting my build now, fight me, I spread the corruption and watch as everything within a reasonable distance from me dies of the sickness. insert joke about corn get down with the sickness. Am I right, boys? Ha 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 ha. The 50% chance of neurotoxin might as well be fucking guaranteed. And to be entirely honest, I didn't even realize it lowered the damage until I happened to look at the wiki when I was writing this segment. All in all, it's amazing to just piss this shit all over the map and watch everything get your little funny COVID debuff thing and the little yellow symbol. Simply amazing. 8 out of 10. Now, I don't actually have any footage of me using the snowball, and I put this off for way too long. So let's just do a little TLDR here. Funny melee build, go burr, and I have the option to carpet nuke an area with cryo. 7 out of 10. Alright, I'm only putting this here because I haven't messed around with the rocket jump one yet. We're gonna do the same thing as snowball. More boom. Boom good. Me like. Brain soft. 1945 out of 10.